What's up, y'all? This is Marlon Saunders on the Marlon Saunders Show. I am back. I was away for maybe 2 weeks. And so if you are a faithful listener, and I already know you are, I don't even have to ask. You're definitely a faithful listener. That's why you hear me right now. Then you noticed the last 2 weeks, we were kind of doing some reruns, some repeats. But I'm back. This is not a rerun. This is not a repeat. I'm live. I'm in the studio. Not just in the studio, in the new facility. Yes, we moved. Now, here's the cool thing. We'll tell you more about it, as we get things together. But the cool thing about the new studio is now you can come down to where the station is and you can watch me. You can actually, if you know anything about me, I love an audience. I love actually being able to interact with people, being able to see the looks on your faces, the smiles, take questions right there on the spot. And sometimes, you watch TV and you see these talk shows where people are standing outside the window. It's just like that. You can stand outside the window now. And so, today might not be the best day to do that because we did just experience like a 30-second thunderstorm hard for like a good 30 seconds. My son ran in the room. He said, "Man, it's a lot of motorcycles outside." I said, "No, that's thunder." He's like, "That's not thunder. That's motorcycles." I said, "Just wait for it again." It did it again. He said, that no motorcycle sounds like that. And so thunder, and then we had the heavy, big, thick raindrops coming down. And it was a storm for 30 seconds. Then it was sunny Southern California again. But I don't know. Clouds are still out there. It could strike up once again. You just probably don't want to stand outside today. But outside of today, I'm going to start inviting you down to come and be a part, live listening audience, a part of the Marlon Saunders Show. I'm pumped about that. I'm excited. Congratulations to my radio family, KHTS AM 1220. Santa Clarita's hometown station. I want to say congratulations to them on this big move. We're getting ready to do some big things. We were already doing big things, but just wait, just watch. It's about to blow up. It's about to be huge. I'm excited because we're going to have a great show today. Just before I went on my little 2-week hiatus, I haven't even had the show long enough. Got nerve to take a break. Took a hiatus, took a vacation like I've been doing this 5 years. It's been all of 3 shows, and I'm like, whoo, I need to get away to San Francisco or something. So I had the nerve to take a break. Haven't done anything but took a break. Anyway, before we went to the break, we had Ann Kendricks, a lady by the name of Ann Kendricks, on the show. She gave some phenomenal parenting advice. And so coming back, I said, "Ann, I need you to come back and talk to the parents some more about what's going on. We need help. As parents, we need help. These kids are out of control." I was in Target, and this little boy, he's about the same size as the basket. I'm talking about a handheld basket. He's about the same size as an iPhone. He was standing in front of his dad's basket. His dad's trying to check out. He's holding the front of the basket. He's like, "No, you're going to get the game, Dad. Get the game, Dad." And his dad is going, "Jimmy, don't do this today. Don't you embarrass this family today." And the basket, the dad is pushing through the line. The son, about the same size as a number 2 pencil, standing in front of the basket. This little Rice Krispie treat just pushing back on the basket. The basket started shaking. They both going at it. "Don't you do this, Jimmy. Get the game, Dad. Get the game, Dad." And so finally, this dad was like, "You know what? Fine. Fine. But you get nothing else out of me. You get nothing." Oh, what? What? See, I didn't grow up like that, y'all. I didn't grow up. My mom and dad, that would have gone straight to, that would have worked totally against my plan. See, Jimmy got away with it and ended up getting the game. Now me, Marlon, little boy, when I was that size, same size of Fruit Loop, if I had gone in the store and started acting out, my mom, my dad would have said, oh, you want to start some drama. Okay, welcome to the Academy Awards. I am Academy Award winner. You want to start drama? I will turn this grocery store out. They would have started getting loud. They would have came in front of the basket, pulled me off the basket, and then proceeded to rearrange the way I'm currently looking. They would have not had me going, "Get the game, Dad." My dad would have said, Not only are you not getting this game, but you're about to not have the games you already have, and we're going to play a new game. This new game is called Open Up a Can on You in the grocery store. This new game is called Tag, and there's going to be one tag. In fact, there's going to be 2 hits in this game. I hit you, you hit the ground. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning, any kind of violence or anything like that. But every now and then, I think you probably need to get your threat into your kids and let them know, look at here, you little alarm clock. You're not going to be coming up against me and trying to challenge everything I do. Let me tell you something, you little paperclip. You're going to get in your seat in your position, and you're going to stay right there, you little water bottle. And so here's the thing. I saw that, and I thought, I can't wait to get Ann back on the show. We need some parenting tips for real. Parents, stop letting your kids parent you. Too many of our kids are parenting us, telling us, I ain't going to church today. What? I'm sorry. You don't pay nothing up in here. You don't pay so much of attention, let alone a bill. You don't pay nothing. You're not going to tell me where you're not going today. My dad used to tell me Sunday mornings, that's church time. Simple as that. There was no, I'm not going to church today. You going to church, and you're probably going to go tomorrow, too, because there's a revival. See, y'all don't know nothing about those revivals. There's a revival coming to town, and the guest preacher opens up tomorrow night on a Monday. So you going to Monday, we going Tuesday, Wednesday is Bible class, Thursday is choir rehearsal, Friday night is deliverance service. See, y'all don't know nothing about any of this. Saturday nights are shut in, and since it's right into Sunday, we're just going to stay over for Sunday school. I never told my mom and dad, I'm not going to church, I'm not going to school. I ain't feeling it today. I'm not going to the mall. Let me tell you, my Saturday morning plans as a little boy was whatever my mom and dad's plans were. Whatever. I didn't wake up even with an agenda. I just woke up. I didn't woke up wanting to do anything. I just woke up. Once I woke up, my agenda was handed to me. They said, these are the activities for the day. And I just said, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And that's it. I didn't say we're not doing number 7. No, we're doing 1 through 43. We spending the next 18 hours doing whatever mom and dad want to do. That's why I'm alive today. That's why I'm happy today. That's why I have the function of my limbs. I can hear, I can see, I can touch things, I can talk correctly. I have a radio show. Why? Because I obeyed my mom and my dad. So Ann is going to come in a minute, and she's going to give us some parenting tips because these kids are out of control. That's the one thing I like about being in the window at this radio station. I can look out the window and see bad kids. Now, I'm going to tell you something, bad kids. Come on down here to the radio station. I will jump through the window. We'll repair it later. I will tackle you in these bushes. You're not going to be bad to your parents in front of me. That's what you ain't going to do. What you're not going to do is disrespect your parents while I'm watching. Parents, I'm going to give you a heads up right now. If I'm ever in Target again and I see a little pole position standing in front of the basket trying to come up against his mom and dad, I'm going to snatch a knot in him myself. I'm not going to look back and be looking going, oh, poor mom, poor dad. Oh, no. We're going to tear his shirt right there in Target. I'm going to tear his sleeves off his jacket. He going to walk in with a jacket, leave out with a vest on because I'm going to tear the sleeves off. You disrespect your mom and your dad in front of me, warn your kids. Say, Marlon over there, Marlon Saunders, there you go. He looking at you. Warn him. You know that little stick that divide the groceries? I beat him with it right there on the spot. The groceries will the cashier just have to think we all paying for the groceries together because I'm going to pick that stick up and I'm going to beat the snot out of your kids. I'm tired of bad kids. Okay, I need to calm down. I'm just tired of bad kids. I heard a kid the other day said a bad word. Boy, I will yank your tongue out your mouth and stomp on it. Are you serious to me? He said a bad, and he said the big one. He said the little baby. You know in curse words, you got the little baby ones, and it's like, that made me feel uncomfortable, but at least you didn't drop the big one. This dude dropped the 100-pointer. He said the big one, and I was like, what? And talking about waffles. I mean, okay, I get you don't like waffles, but you ain't got to say, do that to the waffles. I mean, what's wrong with you, man? It's just a waffle, dude. Get somewhere, sit down and eat a pancake. You don't have to have a waffle. In fact, I was looking at him, probably need to go get a salad. Here's my thing. Maybe you need to calm your kids down, but I don't know. Maybe your kids see you too worked up. So the thing is I want Ann to come in here, and I didn't mean to get all crazy at the top of the show, but that's how I'm feeling this morning. I'm feeling like we need to rein the kids back in. We need to give some parenting tips so that, we can have better kids. Because let me tell you, bad kids grow up to be bad adults. Let me just tell you that right now. Bad kids grow up to be bad adults. So we want to create some good kids so we can have some good adults and have a better country. I got to go drink some water. I got to go to break. hey, y'all, grab a pen, grab a paper, sit down somewhere. If you're on the East Coast, what is it, like 1 o'clock now there? So it's about time for a taco or a burger or chili cheese fries or something like that. If you're here with me on the West Coast, man, you just about to lay into an omelet or something like that. Slice up your avocado, but sit down because it's about to be a good one. Ann Kendricks is here. We're going to talk about how to parent your kids. All right, y'all, we're going to break. We'll be back in a minute. I'll see y'all. I'm back. This is Marlon Saunders on the Marlon Saunders Show. Man, I love the listeners for this show. You guys are like emailing me like, yeah, say that, yeah. You're texting me. You're on Facebook. And some of y'all want to say something. You just don't know how to get in touch with me. Let me tell you, I'm on Facebook like a few times. If you log on to Facebook and you go to Pastor Marlon Saunders, you'll find me there. But also, if you go to the Marlon Saunders Show, we have a Facebook page, the show does. So you can go there, leave comments, and man, it's already a good show today. I'm pumped. You know what it is? New location. We've been gone for 2 weeks. It's a new show. I'm pumped. So before we went to the break, I was talking about parenting because Ann Kendricks, you probably heard her commercial a few moments ago. Amazing You is the nonprofit organization that she started. But she specializes not just in kind of motivating people and being a life coach and trainer and counselor and all that, but one of the many areas she specializes in is parenting. And so I told her, before we went to break a couple weeks ago, I said, when we come back, you have to come on the show because, we need some parenting tips. And not just here in Santa Clarita, but all over the country. I mean, it's bad kids in Washington, D.C. right now, in New York, in Baltimore, in Detroit, in Detroit, in Chicago, in Atlanta, in Denver, and then back here in Los Angeles or Santa Clarita. And so I said, we really need some tips and some things on how to do this thing a little better. I'm pumped again. Let me say this while I'm thinking about it, y'all. Pretty soon I'm going to invite you to come down because where we are now, there's a big window that leads out to the street. And you can stand on the sidewalk outside the window, have your coffee and all that kind of stuff, and you can watch the show live from outside. You can watch it. And if you look like you're safe and you're not going to do anything to us, we'll let you come inside. But, I mean, definitely through thick glass, you can watch us and keep you crazy out there. But if you look like you can actually, be cool, we're going to unlock the door and let you in, one person at a time. So I will be talking more about that as it goes on. At this time, I want to welcome to the show none other than Ann Kendricks. Come on and clap real loud wherever you are. Smack, 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 smack. Those are hands clapping.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for coming back.
Oh, thanks. It's great to be here.
It has been, let's see, since we did this 3 weeks?
Yes.
Like that? Okay, so the last time you were here, we were kind of getting into parenting and what kind of advice, you could give us, kind of tips, just to put our best foot forward and be the best us as far as parents are concerned. Just out of the gate, if somebody said, what's just an initial piece of advice you could give me to just kind of be a better parent, how would you answer that question?
I think right now, especially because it's summertime and a lot of our kids are out of school, I think the most important thing is to schedule time. If, in this really busy, crazy world, and all of our, as parents are working and we have, multiple things going on in our life, we tend to not have time. And by the time we get home, we're so exhausted, there's nothing left. So I think it's very important to schedule a time. And if at all possible, if you have several children, is to try and schedule a time just one-on-one with them, where you're focused on them, their interest. You find something that you both really enjoy doing, and it doesn't have to cost money. It could be, watch the sunset. It could be go for a hike. It could be, different things, watching a television program together and discussing it. I mean, really actively listening to them and looking at them in their eyes. I think that's something that's lost. And because a lot of times when children start showing negative behaviors, it's because they're trying to get your attention. And they just want to be one-on-one with you at some point. They want to feel important to you.
Some of these kids want a lot of attention. I love the fact that you said schedule time, and it doesn't have to cost money.
Right.
I accidentally got hooked on a kids show by watching it with my son. Something very weird happened to me. He was watching this show. This was a few years ago, and I walked into his room, and he was watching a show called Phineas and Ferb. And the episode was really funny. It was just really creative, really catchy. And I sat down on his bed. I started watching it, and I thought, this is hilarious. So I'm like laughing out loud to this kid's show. So I asked him when it was over, I said, what show was that? And he told me, that's Phineas and Ferb. And I said, oh, man. I said, you watch that all the time? He's like, yes. And so the next few days went by, and again, I'd walk in his room, and he's watching Phineas and Ferb. I'll tell you, maybe in 3-4 days, I got hooked on it. So over the last few years, we've been watching Phineas and Ferb. All of us now, as a family, the whole family watch it. And it's kind of like recorded on our DVR. Well, I got so hooked on it that even when I travel and be out of town and it's just me by myself, I'm sitting up in the hotel room watching cartoons, watching Phineas and Ferb because my son got me hooked. Here's my point. Yeah, a lot of times, we'd be surprised how we also like the things that our kids like and how it's catchy to us. And sometimes I think parents, we'll think, well, all they want to do is this, all they want to do is that. But you'd be surprised how much fun that may be to you as well. And even in that, watching this show, we kind of accidentally began to create memories.
Right.
And so even it was funny because that show aired its last episode, the series finale. It aired it a couple weeks ago. And we're sitting there getting all misty-eyed and all sad because for the last 5 years or so, that's all we've watched together. Well, we've watched a bunch, but that's one of the shows that we've watched together. And so can you kind of talk about the importance a little bit of creating memories and how that plays and even the bonding of you and your children?
Well, I think that, one of those things, and it, you kind of touched on it when you're talking about being in a hotel room and watching that. Those are the kinds of things that bring us close. I know my daughter, once she moved away, she started watching some of the programs and listening to some of the music she used to hear when she missed being home. And I know for me, there's pleasant memories that I have of my family, things we did together, outings we went on, little road trips that we went on. And those are the kinds of things that kind of keep us feeling connected. And taking pictures of, I remember when. As I get more mature, I start to realize I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to miss any opportunities, especially with my children or my loved ones. So I like to take advantage of those things that we can do together so that we could look back and say, remember when we had this time? Remember how funny that show was? And I think the other secret to that creating memories is the fact that you can actually become even closer with somebody once you know what is their need, what it is that they need. And when you're watching a program, you can start up a conversation, and it's not about your feelings or you're upset with them because they didn't put their shoes away, but it's about who they are and how they see the world. And it really opens the door without making them feel like, oh man, they're interrogating. They're asking me too many questions. So, but we're sharing something commonly, and that makes them feel important.
One of my favorite memories growing up, my dad, every Saturday morning, we would watch HBO boxing. And my dad used to box. A long time, I think they were still wearing sweatpants when he was boxing, but we used to box. And he was on the undercard a lot of times of a lot of the Ali fights. And so he really got into boxing. So every Saturday morning, I would go into their bedroom, sit on the edge of their bed, and we would watch HBO boxing. And it didn't matter who was fighting. Most of the guys were up and coming. And, if you're on HBO, you kind of arrived in many ways. But they weren't like big, huge names, at the time. Let's see, you had like Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks and George Foreman. Tyson was just getting into it. So we were watching people who, they were on HBO, but they didn't quite cross over. Peter Jackson is like, you almost made it, Pete. But anyway, we would watch HBO boxing. And one of the memories I have, more than the boxing and the fights, was just spending that time. Spending that time on Saturday mornings. I really don't remember. I remember maybe one fight that we watched together because a guy got hit so hard that he broke his leg. Now, you know that's getting hit hard. He got hit how you get hit so hard you break your leg? Now, that's a hard hit. So the guy hit him, and the way he fell to the mat, he twisted his leg and broke it, got up. He's dragging it across the ring. And so my dad, I remember us going, oh, he got hit hard. I just remember, we'd watch fights, and every now and then my dad would say, now he could take a punch. And when I grew up, I came to realize that's not really a compliment. You don't want to be known as the boxer who can take a punch. That's not a compliment. But more than the boxing, we would spend time together. Okay, so we're going to break, but when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the spending time, because one of the things I think has ruined us spending time together is technology. Mm-hmm. But I don't think technology has to ruin us. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to talk about technology. Is that a blessing? Is that a curse? Kind of where does that fall in today's generation and all of that? Y'all, we're going to break. It's raining again outside right here. Don't come down here today. You're going to get wet. Listen, we're going to break. I'm going to get some water. I'll see you in about 2 minutes. We'll be right back.